Pickens going defunct.
Yep.
On hiatus.
So they're going to be out, right?
Pickens already done.
Oh, Pickens already out.
Yeah, North
That
Carolina
didn't
and
matter.
Ripples are the only. Chess pieces on the board at First Tennessee Park on a gorgeous early fall evening. It means it's time for our starting lineups, brought to you by Pinnacle Financial Partners. For the visitors, is a lineup with 7 outfield components under the age of 22. No, now. Okay. Since this soccer journey launched on a drenched day in February, this city has continued to progress with it. Taylor's. Roads have been built, skyscrapers finished, albums recorded, referendums passed, even all 4 seasons have changed.
It's my favorite line.
I was going to say roads have been built, paved, and even voted on. But I want to get to, and at one point I had mayors have changed. And I thought that would get a little
That's
too.
fun,
But it was like I was just trying to show the passage of time.
I like the season. Or you could hold the season until next week because it'll be the same story. And
But we are technically in fall right now, right? There are nights that can stitch themselves into a club's history forever, and this could be one of them. Welcome to a city on the brink of the playoffs. It's Nashville's first ever chance to book a place in the USL's postseason. It's tonight, it's potential history, and you're in the perfect spot to see it. It is game night for the Nashville Soccer Club, and this is First Tennessee Park, a place where the sky-high ambitions of this city's first-year club can be realized in the next 2 hours. It's been 241 days since the first preseason friendly of the year. It happened right here on this field, and now Nashville SC on the doorstep of its dream destination, the USL playoffs. Victory tonight against visiting Toronto, and a new chapter in this club's history could be written in front of our very eyes. We welcome you up to our broadcast position at First Tennessee Park. Our broadcast tonight presented by Pinnacle Financial Partners. I'm John Freeman, joined by former Vanderbilt women's soccer coach Ronnie Woodard. And, well, let's dive right into it. Nashville began this night at 7th in the USL Eastern Conference table. Ronnie, a chance to make it to the playoffs tonight. What has to go right for the boys in blue?
Well, a Nashville win tonight and anything less than a North Carolina or New York win will clinch the club's first playoff spot. Keep in mind, Nashville will be only the second USL expansion team to qualify for postseason in their inaugural season. What an exciting night of soccer this is going to be.
Could be a monumental night. It is a very tense night in Nashville. Arnada Taha is down on the field, and she talked to manager Gary Smith earlier this evening.
Yeah, we chatted about all that playoff buzz, and he said that the boys have been firmly focused since the weekend, and that despite not knowing what could happen in the future and where they could go and all the thoughts that they could have about the playoffs, if they're not mentally focused on this game, they won't get very far.
Thank you, Nada. Well, this is it. In less than 2 hours, Nashville SC could have their place booked in the postseason. Who will Gary Smith trust to deliver Nashville a playoff berth? Our Pinnacle Financial Partners starting lineups in the opening kickoff next. The supporters ready and the chess pieces on the board at First Tennessee Park on a gorgeous early fall evening. Means it's time for our starting lineups brought to you by Pinnacle Financial Partners. First, the visitors. It is a lineup with 7 outfield components under the age of 22. The undisputed star, though, a man considered ancient in their roster. It's 25-year-old Japanese forward Tsubasa Endo.
Yeah, keep your eye on number 46, Endo. Yes, he can score goals, but in my opinion, it's his vision and passing ability that makes him a very entertaining and dangerous player for Toronto.
Toronto led by Michael Robaska, who took control of the steering wheel in early June when the previous manager bolted for Belgium in mid-season. All 4 of Toronto's wins this season have come under the 49-year-old Robaska. For the home side, they will ride with an identical crew that throttled Richmond on Saturday night. The smoldering striker Tucker Hume is the focal point, but the catalyst could be 21-year-old Ropapa-Mensah in the midst of a personal renaissance as a winger.
Welcome back, Ropapa-Mensah. Since coming back into the starting lineup, he's made an immediate impact. His combination of his strength and explosive speed makes him very difficult to control on the flank.
Nashville led by British manager Gary Smith, who called his team's loss to previously winless Toronto in July the low point of the season, and told the media that tonight is, quote, not just about completing the season-long task of making the playoffs, but also about righting that wrong, end quote from Gary Smith. Well, since this soccer journey launched on a drenched day in February, this city has continued to progress with it. Roads have been built, skyscrapers finished, albums recorded, university classes welcomed and graduated, referendums have passed, and even all 4 seasons have changed. Yet underneath it all, this unrelenting quest for the postseason has remained. Now right here, right now, that quest can reach its end goal. Nashville SC potentially just 90 minutes away from fulfilling its playoff dream. In February, it was a hope. 8 months later tonight, it can be history. Toronto clad in the white, Nashville in the deepest of blues. The visitors inclined to attack via their mandate. Nashville inclined via its ambition. Moderating the debate tonight, Kevin Broadley has awarded a penalty or red card in 9 of his 16 USL matches officiated this season. He is policing each team tonight for the 2nd time this year. Both teams lost by a goal when Broadley presided over their separate matches earlier in 2018. Take a look at our Vanderbilt health injury report. There were hopes of a Lebo Maloto return in the lineup for this critical match. Those hopes left wanting with his exclusion from the 18 with a knee injury suffered versus Charleston in September. That list, though, now void of recently hamstrung Bradley Bourgeois, although Bourgeois was not selected for the game day 18. Nashville will need several results to potentially claim a playoff spot tonight. We have our eye on 2 games that we'll tell you about shortly. But first, home side going to work, attacking away from their supporter section. These 2 teams, a tale of 2 styles. Toronto FC2 loves to play a high-flying, high-scoring game. Nashville much more deliberate in its operations. The stats tell the story. Nashville has played in just 1 game this season that has involved more than 4 combined goals. Toronto has played in 9 of them. First look at Ryan Telfer, 19-year-old forward. Switch wide for Kinala, involving Matthew Serbel into the attack. Serbel, who had a goal and an assist in Toronto's 2-0 victory over Nashville in July. The constellation of passes. Endo flopped on target, and Matt Pickens enlisted.
Well, what you can see from the very beginning, if you've got Telfer coming back and joining into the attack from that left back position, and he's already gotten forward and is trying to combine with the midfield to expose that back line, and specifically Kosuke Kimura.
Toronto coming in with 4 wins this season. Nashville trying to slip through Ropapa-Mensah, who has found a new role for Gary Smith in this Nashville team as a right winger. Mensah was involved in 2 of Nashville's 3 goals against Richmond on the road in the River City on Saturday night. Coming into this matchup, there's a website, 538.com, that runs computer computations on all the possibilities for games in the USL. their computations gave Nashville a 94% chance of making the playoffs. Still work to be done, though. A win tonight could put them into the bracket as early as sunrise. Be a goal kick for Toronto.
So what you're saying is it's not a good betting game tonight with the
Never,
odds.
never a good idea to bet on sports.
Of course it's not. Specifically soccer.
Especially Toronto. I mean, Toronto's gone on the road and produced some shocking results this season. They drew at top of the table FC Cincinnati.
Well, and let's remember that Patterson Sewell's, basically home, playing in front of his crowd, and he's from Hendersonville product right now, and this is a place that he calls home, and he can come up with an absolute screamer tonight.
It's the goalkeeper for Toronto, a team that has also defeated Charleston and a team that throttled Louisville. They have results against some of the USL's Eastern Conference cream of the crop. You'll notice tonight Nashville players wearing pink socks. It's part of the Real Fans Wear Pink initiative. It's to raise awareness and money for the American Cancer Society. We'll tell you more about it in our broadcast as we move along here in the 6th minute at First Tennessee Park. Kosuke Kimura on the ball, 34-year-old who defies his aging legs. Mensah in the channel, flopped in towards Tucker Hume. Headed away close to a corner kick, but instead it'll be a throw-in. Hume, the 25-year-old, just his 2nd year as a professional. He is the focal point. 6 goals in his last 10 starts. Throw in an assist and 2 penalties drawn in that time frame as well. For a player in the middle of the season, it was an afterthought. There's a chunk of time where he wasn't even making the game day roster. And now he is one of the saviors of Nashville's season.
That's just a true credit to Coach Gary Smith's philosophy, right? I mean, these players are obviously developing and growing under their guidance that they've received this season. And Tucker Hume's a great example of that. Ropapa Mensah is a really good example of him having pits and valleys throughout the year, but he's shining when it's important right now down the playoff stretch.
Here's a look at the 6'5" striker, and Mensah is no small man either. 6'4", nearly 200 pounds. We'll keep up to date with Nashville SC all season long by visiting NashvilleSC.com. Access the latest team news, content, merchandise, ticket offers, promotions, and more. Check out NashvilleSC.com today. Taylor Washington trying to make inroads down the far side. As Nashville lurching forward from the left. Mensah. Plenty of space in front of him. It's a well-whipped service. Met by Kubel. And finally caught by Caleb Patterson Sewell, the 31-year-old Tennessean.
Although I love this service from Ropapa, look at him right here. He's faced up in a 1-versus-1 situation, going straight into goal. I would love to see him expose that defender and get after it and get to that end line. He's just incredibly powerful. Like right there he is, winning that ball.
Ropapa Mensah charging forward, takes it to his right, goes for goal. Sprayed it wide, but showing his fangs early in the 8th minute. Now, with Nashville SC potentially being able to clinch a playoff berth tonight, they needed 2 results to go their way. This one did not. New York Red Bulls 2 winning on the road at Penn FC. If the Red Bulls 2 squad were to have dropped points in that game, either drawing or losing it, Nashville could clinch a postseason berth tonight with a victory. Now, there is still another game out there with a similar desire for Nashville. It's Louisville City in North Carolina, right now tied at 1-1. If that score were to hold in what is now the 75th minute, Nashville could potentially clinch a playoff berth tonight with a victory.
Correct, and there's less than 15 minutes left in that Louisville City, North Carolina game right now. But honestly, Nashville has to take care of business on the field tonight. They have to be able to produce a victory this evening in order to even be in that conversation, right? If the other teams take care of their job and North Carolina can stay with a draw, then we're in a good situation, but Nashville still has to take care of everything on the field tonight.
Camara selects LaGrassa. On their second chance, thumped wide for Taylor Washington. LaGrassa onto his left foot. It's Matt LaGrassa. Couldn't get it through traffic. They reload at the feet of Washington. Cleared as far as Camara. Akinyoti at full stretch. Washington calculating his angles. Dances through a tackle. Reed, LaGrassa back for Reed. Stolen away by Subasa Indo.
That was
the counterattack dissolved by LaGrassa.
Yeah, what a great recovery run by LaGrassa that was. He saw that 1-2 opportunity between he and Michael Reed at the top of the 18 was easily picked off, and he knew as soon as it left his foot, and he immediately retracted and tried to get that ball back. That's really quality play by LaGrassa.
Lightning fast ball movement from Nashville, and they surge forward again. Easy interception. Toronto will hustle the other way. It's a dangerous striker, Jordan Hamilton, a 22-year-old. Played in 13 MLS games this year, scored 2 goals for the Toronto MLS side. Ball actually went out for a throw-in on the shot. Nashville pushed deep back into their own territory. There is Matt Pickens. 14 clean sheets and 29 starts for Pickens. He is 1 behind USL leader and USL record holder Maxime Crépeau, who has 15 this season for Ottawa, but does have a game in hand. Nashville's inaugural season. Could its end destination be the playoffs? Still no limits to this first campaign. There is what Nashville needs: a North Carolina loss or tie. That game should wrap up here in the next 15 or so minutes. Then a Nashville win in this inaugural season could have a new chapter written into it. Important header from Washington. Denied the service to Kubel.
Nashville doesn't seem to be pressing very high defensively. They're keeping a compact shape. They're letting Toronto knock it around the back without gaining any ground, and then they're picking them in pockets right now so far. And as the ball plays back, then they're going to press in. But as for the beginning of the game, it hasn't been a high press, high intensity defensive unit from Nashville so far. It's been effective defending, without a doubt, because they're staying compact defensively, but they're not pressing into that attacking third to get the ball from Toronto and put them under pressure like some of the games we've seen this year.
Exactly what Gary Smith was saying on the sideline, Shirley.
That'd be good if we were thinking alike.
It's a bombarding run from Alan Wynn. Has help arriving in Mensah. Calculating his cross. Was difficult to handle for Kyle Bjornathan. 23-year-old defender, and Rupampa Mensah has earned the Coca-Cola corner kick for Nashville. And already the young Ghanaian a problem for TFC2. Nashville will bring its big cruise ships into dock. Liam Doyle, Bolu Akinyoti, Tucker Hume, Rupampa Mensah all over 6 feet and standing in the 18. Davis, Doyle, Washington. Corner never threatened. Nashville preserves the possession. It's the young Allen Wynn. Slicing through the teeth of the defense, almost slipped through Ropampa-Mensah. Now TFC attacking with pace in Telfer, and Nashville defending with pace in Michael Reed.
Good work by Reed to squeeze that space onto the sideline.
Don't miss out on any Nashville SC content, prizes, promotions, and behind-the-scenes action. Follow our handle Nashville SC on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat today. The foul call went on Matt LaGrassa, and he's already drawn the attention of the official Kevin Broadley. This is important. Matt LaGrassa is one yellow card away from a yellow card suspension. If he were to get a yellow card tonight, he would have to sit out the next game, which could be a decisive game. You know, it just happens to come against the most dominant team in USL history, FC Cincinnati, right here in this building on Saturday. So LaGrassa has to be careful, Ronnie.
Well, even more careful with Lebo being day-to-day with his injury, right? LaGrassa's moved into that 10 role, and it's a valuable role for Nashville right now. And they can't afford to have him lose his head or not play completely in control today with the opportunity to lose him for the next match on Saturday. It is vital, vital for Nashville and Matt LaGrassa that he keeps himself together today.
Quick reminder to our fans watching at home, this match presented to you by Pinnacle Financial. Play hard, bank easy. Launch towards the head of Hume. Ropampa-Mensah trying to turn his defender. A sturdy defending from Ryan Telfer. Inventive work to clear.
That was some really good defending by Telfer. Ropapa's very strong, and when he's facing goal and he's trying to get around you, Telfer had to really use all of his body and his momentum to stay under Ropapa and keep him from getting the ball. That was really excellent under pressure defending by Telfer.
Telfer listed as a left wing, playing more left back tonight. He's on the cusp of this MLS senior squad that is now eliminated from MLS playoff contention after winning the MLS Cup last year. Wheels kind of came off in Canada this season for Toronto FC. As Toronto FC 2 attacking, and a spinning shot whistles just wide of the cage of Matt Pickens.
It's a good little ball in, nice turn, struck it well on the left foot. Trying to squeak into that far post, but Matt Pickens calmly has it covered.
Came fired off the foot of John Baquero, former Mac Herman Trophy winner at Wake Forest. Got soccer in his blood. His dad was a Barcelona midfielder and played in 2 World Cups for his native Spain.
Now that is an impressive statistic.
Taylor Washington recruited into the attack. It's a delicious service. Connects with Ropampa-Mensah. Reinserting it back in. Hume was nearly there. Nashville still in business. Quickly thrown in by Washington.
I think technically Hume was there.
Seen out by Liam Frazier, and now Toronto FC 2 on the attack. Akinala almost picked out Baquero. Here's a look at the cross. It was Mensah with Hume just right there on the doorstep. LaGrassa. Tell you about it in a second. A major development in Kentucky and a score that Nashville SC was watching. But first, Nashville SC trying to find a crease in this TFC2 defense. LaGrassa in a phone booth, able to leak a pass out to Liam Doyle. Win. It's Allen Wynn. It's a touch too heavy.
So I really like what I'm seeing right now. You've got the Wynn-Washington combination on the left flank, and Wynn's pulling in central a bit, and that's the cue for Washington to go forward. And Washington's joining into the attack on that left flank. And then the combination of Washington and Wynn are making a 2v1 against Kubel, the right back for Toronto. That's going to be really effective throughout the day if they can keep that momentum and that chemistry moving.
Well, a result that Nashville wanted. It is happening in Louisville. Lou City takes a 2-1 lead over North Carolina in the 87th minute now. How about this? Nashville needed North Carolina to either lose or tie that game for a chance to beat Toronto FC2 to go to the playoffs. They have gotten the result from their main rivals, a gift from Louisville. And if that score holds, or even if it's a draw, North Carolina FC can claw 1 goal back, it will still work in Nashville's favor.
Yeah.
So barring a miracle from the visitors from North Carolina, Nashville SC could be playing for the playoffs tonight.
And being late and almost into the 90th minute in Lou City, that is such a timely goal and so helpful for Nashville moving forward. I think all the Nashville fans, though, right now could really breathe a sigh of relief if Nashville can put one of these balls in the back of the net, get themselves up with a 1-0 lead.
Nashville looking for their own opener. Flying into the box, appeals for a penalty, and they're given. Alan Wynn chopped down in the box. And in the 21st minute, Nashville SC a chance to go ahead from the spot. Penalty awarded by Kevin Broadley. It's his 8th penalty awarded this season in just 17 games. Nashville Soccer Club, every time they go out on the field, they have a board up in the locker room, and Gary Smith writes down the penalty takers.
So, yeah, I have to say, if you're Patterson Sewell and you're the goalkeeper that's about to be called upon to make this save, instead of arguing with the Nashville fans or the Nashville players or the referee, you get yourself back on the line and you get yourself set. The game now, this is determining giving up a goal, and his team's depending on him. Whether the call was good or not, Patterson Sewell's got to regroup, get himself set, and get him back on the line if he's going to keep his head in the game for Toronto.
To take the penalty kick, the Californian Matt LaGrassa. A blue-collar midfielder with a chance to send Nashville ahead in this vital game. Patterson Sewell taking his time, trying to ice LaGrassa. Awaiting the whistle. It's Matt LaGrassa. Save made! Rebound available, but cleared out. Patterson Sewell, the Tennessean, a primal scream. In Nashville's playoff dream on hold.
He just read it. As a matter of fact, I think Sewell stepped off his line early. If you look closely, look, there he is. Before the ball's even struck, he's taken a step off of his line. If the linesman had been aware, he should have called that back. I believe that he stepped off his line early. Great save.
Brianna Scurry in
Absolutely.
the Women's World Cup.
Minus the Brandy Chastain after it, celebration. However, excellent save by Patterson Sewell. He regrouped and made the save.
Does result in the Coca-Cola corner kick. Just pounded away as far as a throw in for Justin Davis. Quickly comes in towards Hume. He's put in a good spot. LaGrassa was crashing in. Akinola disinterested in any pursuit. Secure your place in line for MLS tickets and don't miss any of the Nashville SC action in 2019 by becoming a season ticket member today. Go to NashvilleSC.com to submit your deposit for 2019 Nashville SC season tickets. PSI increasing with every tick of the clock. Mensah. It's a one-on-one, taking his defender off the dribble. Mensah squared it right across and no one home.
Well, I think what we've seen today, the imprint on the game so far for Mensah, is he has had the ability to face up, take on, and produce a service. So now Nashville's going to have to work a little bit harder on their near post and their far post runners and their players that are in that delayed slot run and be able to deal with the texture and the ball that Ropapa's putting in there.
Take a look at the penalty from LaGrassa, Ronnie. It's a solid save from Patterson.
See, there he
Sewell.
is. Sewell takes off before LaGrassa strikes the ball. He takes a step forward, which is sound advice for goalkeeping because it reduces the angle and increases your chances of making a save. Now, he made a fantastic save and guessed the right direction, but he definitely took a step early before that ball was struck, and the linesman missed it.
Now, you're not allowed to do that, clearly.
You're clearly not allowed to.
That's the linesman's call?
Correct. So the official on the end line should have made that call because Patterson Sewell, as the goalkeeper, can move side to side, but cannot move forward off of his line until the ball's been struck. And he clearly in that video had stepped off of his line seconds, not even seconds, quarter fraction of a second before LaGrassa struck that ball.
Telfer, first time service, heading towards the penalty spot. Knotted away by Doyle. Word blocked even further by Michael Reed. Sent back in, awkwardly met by Justin Davis. Telfer again, who's been an active participant. Endo.
We've not seen much of Endo so far this game. He's been quiet, just connecting passes.
Telfer wants to audition Kosuke Kimura. Frazier. Wynn with room to turn. Wynn ignites the counterattack. Here goes Allen Wynn, showing the defenders the glow of his afterburners. He's able to win the corner kick.
I love Allen Wynn in an open field. He is so fast with the ball at his feet, and he has the ability to change speed so quickly. Watch him in here. He just isolates right there, can change his pace, and he just has that second gear that some players just don't have.
Well, Wynn was clocked at 21.4 miles per hour in a match this month. He may have just exceeded that pace. To put that in perspective, only 7 NFL players in 2017 wearing GPS equipment were clocked at faster than Allen Wynn has been clocked. That is the type of speed that he possesses.
Let's hope the Titans don't come and steal him.
Coca-Cola corner kick for Nashville SC. Hoisted in towards Hume, who was whistled for fouling his defender. How important would a first goal in this game be for Nashville SC, Ronnie? Nashville this season has scored first in 19 games. They've won 15 of them and they tied the other 4, so unbeaten when they score first. They had a gift-wrapped opportunity with the PK moments ago.
I also think that once you score the first one in a must-win situation, that players begin to play a little bit more freely, and it takes a little bit of the pressure off. So I think Nashville will get better once they hit the back of the net for the first time. I think we'll see a better Nashville team.
Lonely striker up top and a shot over the crossbars, Jordan Hamilton. Just like that, Toronto FC showing their capabilities. And they have danger in Jordan Hamilton, the 22-year-old.
It's a tidy little turn by Hamilton. He caught Doyle on the hip and just flipped in and then showed a little bit of his ability to strike that ball on his left foot. He didn't catch it cleanly and he put it right over the bar, but I think you've got to respect the fact that he has the ability to do that in tight spaces. Just as a note, Matt Pickens just served that goal kick 3/4 of the field.
Akinola trying to run on. It's drawn the interest of Matt Pickens.
What a great threat to have the ball at Pickens' feet on a goal kick, which is a set piece, and knock it 3/4 of the field. What a valuable tool. If they can play that ball off of Tucker Hume's head to an on-running Wynn or Ropapa Mensah, that's incredibly dangerous.
Akinyoti pulls Kosuke Kimura into the attack. Under the radar, Ropapa Mensah. It's a one-on-one with Telfer. Takes him off the dribble. Telfer doing his best. Really the best right now against Ropapa Mensah. He's doing enough to concede a corner.
That's a great little matchup. It's been very active the whole game. At times, Ropapa's getting a service off. At times, Telfer's getting the better end of the defending. It's really been a great matchup. Physically, they match in their size and their strength. And so it's been a lot of fun to watch those two.
Driven corner from Reed. Reversed all the way to the red-clad goalkeeper, Pickens. It's funny, Gary Smith was asked about, well, what is Toronto FC2 playing for? They only have 4 wins this season. They're clearly out of playoff contention. And he said, well, this is a team full of young players trying to make the MLS side, maybe make another USL side at the end of the year. They're fighting for their career, so this is no small game for them either. As Kosuke Kimura. Wynn. One-on-one against Telfer. Cuts it to his left. It's Alan Wynn! Save made by Patterson Sewell. Full stretch.
It's a Coca-Cola corner kick for Nashville FC.
So again, it's Wynn matched up. Chops onto his left foot. He strikes the ball. I think Patterson Sewell was leaning to his right, and he felt pretty fortunate from the look on his face that he was able to get down to his left so quickly. I don't think he expected that ball to go to the space that it did.
Nashville peppering the box with corners. They'll do so again. Quick reminder to fans at home, tonight's match presented to you by Pinnacle Financial. Play hard, bank easy. Comes in again from Reed. Mensah was leaping. Endo, expert footwork.
And a little bit lucky too. Endo's trying to take on to get out of his defensive third. 1 versus 2 against 2 Nashville players. A little bit fortunate that he ended up with a foul in that space. That's a dangerous place to be able to take on.
We were watching that game in Louisville where Nashville was extremely interested in the results. Nashville Soccer Club has gotten the result that they wanted in the Louisville versus North Carolina match. There is the final from Kentucky. Louisville City wins that game. North Carolina FC could not catch Nashville SC if Nashville were to win tonight against Toronto, and therefore Nashville SC with a win would lock up a playoff bid. Much more simple now, Ronnie, in the 33rd minute.
Table's been set.
Win and you're in for Nashville SC. Now that would also apply if they were to lose tonight. It would also apply on Saturday to FC Cincinnati, but I'd rather do it against the bottom team in the table than leave it to the record-breaking team at the top of the table on Saturday.
And on the last game of the year, right? You don't want to put that pressure on your players. They've already had a tremendous amount of pressure on them during this playoff run, let alone make the suspense even more unbearable for one more game.
Wynn has been a chronic presence in this back line for TFC2. It's Alan Wynn hauled down. That'll surely be a yellow card. A professional foul as Wynn was grabbed multiple times. And here comes the yellow. They cannot handle the blazing speed of Wynn, and it's Matthew Serbel who will be the first to go into the book of Kevin Broadley.
Well, they just don't have an answer for his speed, and so the only way is you've got to pull an arm, you've got to get a little bit of body on it, and at this case, grabs the shoulder, pulls him down. Really no choice but to award that penalty. Again, look how close it is to the box, though. very dangerous space.
Two-man wall for Toronto, including the 6'3" John Baccaro. Nashville's been known to run scripted routines off set pieces. Instead, it's driven towards Patterson Sewell. Two fists easily out. Reinserted by Davis. Mensah! Point blank save, Patterson Sewell.
Great reaction save by Patterson Sewell. Good run by Ropapa Mensah, cutting in between those players. Well served ball by LaGrassa. Just a really great impulsive save by Patterson Sewell. He's come up big several times in this first half, in the first 34 minutes of this match already.
Penalty save. A few others in there, and then also probably his best one of the night so far. That robbery of Ropapa. Telfer making a real pioneering run. Tried to ship it to the lonely striker in Jordan Hamilton.
Well, and part of the issue for Nashville, with Telfer going forward, Ropapa Mensah is being called to defend deeper in Nashville's half, which means his starting position is even deeper for him to get forward to be able to attack for Nashville, which is what he's best at. So here's a look again. You got LaGrassa plays a great ball in. Knocks it. Actually, that might have been Justin Davis that played that ball in. I believe that's Justin Davis off his left foot that plays it in. A great bending ball into Ropapa. And then Patterson Sewell just makes a great save. But that was Justin Davis on the service on that one.
Interesting, the last time Ropapa scored as a member of the starting lineup, you've got to go all the way back to June 6th. So many of his goals this year, 5 so far in the USL, come from a substitute position. Volleyball game breaking out at the head of the 18. Wynn going for glory.
He's tired of all the volleying and all the head balls. He's like, let's just put this thing on the ground. I don't even care if I just kick it.
We'll get an inside look at life on and off the field from a player's perspective every Wednesday evening in the latest edition of From the Pitch on USLsoccer.com. There he is. He has been the protagonist, Alan Wynn. His first professional season win. Scored a goal against Richmond, the third of the night, just on Saturday with a lung-busting jet speed sprint to latch on to a Matt LaGrassa pass.
He's a speedy little guy. He can just flat out turn it on.
Win, one of the two North Carolina Tar Heels on the field for Nashville. 66% of their striker duo, Wynn and Hume, both UNC alums. In fact, they were former college roommates during their time in Chapel Hill.
I even like them, despite
says the Duke grad.
Says the Duke grad and the Virginia grad.
Hume trying to dance his way through the defense, almost got through a tight spot. Baccaro. Canola. Davis and Kimura combining for the clearance. Ropapa with room to roam. Until he's sliced down. It's Liam Frazier. Draws the finger wag from Kevin Broadley.
I will say that Broadley is quick on the whistle, and he's also quick on the conversation with the players. He's actively involved in this game so far with a lot of conversation.
It was Broadley, the official, who was involved in one of the more controversial games this season in the USL. Dished out 10 yellow cards, 2 red cards, and 2 penalties in a single match between Tampa Bay and Cincinnati.
Well, let's hope we don't see a repeat appearance of that this evening.
A long way to go, considering we've only had one yellow card with Matthew Serble.
But I will say he's had a lot of conversations with players, so there's been warnings that have already been shared across both teams.
Well, soccer fans, pick up the latest NSC gear today online at shop.nashvillesc.com or come by our team store located at 650 Rundle Avenue. Tsubasa Endo, 46 in white. He is their flamethrower this season. 7 of his 8 goals have come against teams in the top 8, including a famous hat trick at Nippert Stadium in Cincinnati. Yet he has been almost merely a spectator tonight, Ronnie.
Yeah, he's been really quiet so far in the match. They haven't found his feet. He hasn't run at space.
Alan Wynn breaking into space. Wynn squares it back across. Tucker Hume! How did that not go in? Right on the doorstep, and somehow we remain scoreless. A Toronto player must have nicked it away because it's a Nashville corner kick.
Look at Wynn get to that end line, strike, great isolation touch, finds the seam, strikes it back. Tucker does a good job taking a touch, but it comes off Bjorthen at the last second and it knocks it wide. I think that was destined for goal if he hadn't got that touch in.
6th Coca-Cola corner kick of the first half.
And honestly, we've had 6 corner kicks for Nashville so far, but I don't think any of them have really been very dangerous so far. Do you, John? They've just kind of been struck in there and easily cleared from Toronto so far today.
Alan Wynn has been borderline unguardable tonight. They cannot keep up with his pace. But you do wonder just how long can he continue to keep his foot on the gas pedal. Here now in the 41st minute at First Tennessee Park. A win for Nashville SC. They would be playoff bounds in their inaugural season. A season that started in a downpour in this stadium in February with a preseason friendly. Washington, it's a knuckling service over the head of the Ghanaian Rupapamensah. Caleb Patterson-Sewell, the goalkeeper, has been a busy man, the former Liverpool Youth Academy player. I wonder what it's like for him. He's 31 years old. Just about everybody else on the team is in their teenage years or their low 20s.
Probably similar to Matt Pickens.
Yeah.
And Kosuke Kimura.
What was it, a game this season against Atlanta United 2 where Matt Pickens was 34 years old and the other goalkeeper on the other side of the field, Justin Garces, was 17, half his age.
Yes, he was.
Wynn now forced to use his speed to defend. To deny entry to Tim Kubel. Vaquero. It's away by Reed. Nashville stringing the counterattack. Flying in is Mensah. As reinforcements with LaGrassa to his right, Mensah will take it himself. Squeeze it way wide. Mensah, 1 goal in his last 15 appearances. It was a big one. It came 2 games ago on the road at Atlanta United too. It's one of those games down the stretch that Gary Smith said Nashville just has to win. They want to make the playoffs. Kind of one of those games where he said, if we don't win, we don't deserve to make the playoffs. You know, they've run through some of the bottom teams now in the USL Eastern Conference down the stretch of this season. Win against Atlanta United too. Win against Richmond on the road, and now they get the bottom team in the USL Eastern Conference in Toronto FC too.
And exactly the day that you would want them as Nashville Soccer Club. You know, you want this game to get some good minutes, to get a good solid win against the bottom of the table. And Nashville's not really taking advantage of this opportunity right now. And you can see the frustration on Coach Smith's face on the sidelines right now. I think he's waiting for halftime so he can regroup his team and have a good conversation with them.
Mensah pondering the direction of the attack. LaGrassa trying to return for Mensah. It was a meaty challenge. Now Akinola, chance to test the wheels on the other end.
Oh, it's a great front foot tackle by Justin Davis, because Toronto had numbers going forward, running at Nashville's back line. Perfect timing, way to stick that tackle in on that front foot. Fantastic job by Justin Davis. There's that overlapping.
It's Taylor Washington on his horse. There it is again. He has earned the corner kick for Nashville. The tackle from Davis.
There. Perfect timing, good front foot tackle. Maintains possession of the ball and then safely combines.
7 corner kicks now for Nashville SC.
You know, normally the Rocket Reed is putting in a really good ball. I think that Nashville is a little bit off in either the type of ball and the type of the run, but they don't seem to be matching so far in the corner kicks we've seen so far. Let's see if they can get out of that rut.
Doyle's in the area. Patterson-Sewell with a fist to it. Davis. LaGrassa! LaGrassa again! Nashville continues to knock on the door. 2 minutes of stoppage time have been added here in the first half. A couple good looks for the Californian. Well, you'll notice the Nashville players wearing pink socks tonight. It's part of the Real Fans Wear Pink initiative to raise awareness and money for the American Cancer Society. Nashville SC fans can purchase our Real Fans Wear Pink shirts at our team store or online at NashvilleSC.com, or by donating through our website at Real Fans Wear Pink underneath the community tab.
That's the same shirt they warm up in.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
Looks sharp. I like it. Gray and pink. Looks great.
How do you feel about the pink socks?
I like the pink socks. I think they look good. Show a little personality out there.
Dying seconds here of the first half.
Mostly I like the pink socks because I support the cause. You know, my aunt's a breast cancer survivor, and I believe wholeheartedly in the support for it.
Akinola, he slipped through Hamilton, and the flag is up. Hamilton second on the team in goals this year, despite playing just 9 games. He's got 7 for the season in 9 appearances. The reason he hasn't played many games for Toronto FC2 is because he has 13 MLS appearances for Toronto FC in Major League Soccer.
And in pregame, you know, when we spoke to Coach Smith, he did say that Hamilton was one that was finding his form and playing well, and that they had to be careful with his ability to score goals.
Well, Nashville needed help around the USL to be able to clinch a postseason berth tonight. They have to win this game to do it. They did get the help that they needed, but right now Gary Smith's squad still needs a goal to complete the task against bottom of the table Toronto FC2. It is halftime at First Tennessee Park. The players head to the dressing rooms. We prepare you for our halftime presented by Nissan. Stats, highlights, Natataha will have a segment for us as well, but we didn't get a goal here in the first half, but we certainly had plenty of highlights in it. Several chances for both teams and some big saves from Caleb Patterson-Sewell for Toronto FC, including this penalty kick save. Keeps us scoreless in Middle Tennessee.
In episode 3 of The Rewind, Captain Michael Reed talks about the 4th goal scored against Richmond and what were his thoughts going into that free kick that led to Tucker Hume scoring.
I'm Michael Reed. This is episode 3 of The Rewind.
Hume! It's 4! They are a pack of coyotes on the hunt again, and Nashville is taking it to Richmond.
Yeah, for this one, besides Gary chirping in my ear to say put it in the box again, even though we had Alan Wynn and JD and Lebo Short, there was a pretty defined area for me to whip it in, and then I had to whip it around that first line of defense and then that second guy as well, get it around the PK area. So it was much more definition with this curvature as well as whipping it. So it's not just a lofted ball, it's not a driven ball, it's a combination of the two.
It's definitely super interesting to get inside a player's mind during a scoring opportunity. You can watch that video and a lot more at NashvilleSC.com, and we will have all the scores and the highlights from the first half after the break.
Everyone enjoying themselves at First Tennessee Park as it our halftime presented by Nissan. Nashville SC and Toronto FC 2, both with 0 goals apiece. It was an entertaining first half. As we welcome you back, I'm John Freeman, joined by former Vanderbilt women's soccer coach Ronnie Woodard. And, well, if you are Nashville, you've got to rue your misses, a saved penalty kick, and several other doorstep opportunities. And then looking at the stats as well, it's a first half that Nashville dominated but could not come away with a goal, Ronnie.
No, and I think the thing that stands out the most is look at the services. The crosses are 18 and the corners are 8, and Nashville has nothing to show for it. I think that while
That's the direction that they'll be heading in the second half. I believe the quote earlier in the season was, "They almost suck the ball into the goal." So Nashville will be attacking towards its supporters section in the second 45. Well, it is a gorgeous night at First Tennessee Park. We hope it will be gorgeous on Saturday for the final regular season home game of the season against FC Cincinnati. Let's go ahead and get a look at the weather forecast here in Nashville from our friends at Fox 17.
Hello, I'm meteorologist Justin Chambers from Fox 17. Nashville Soccer Club wrapping up the regular season, and tonight we'll see temperatures into the 80s. We'll see some increasing clouds later into the evening and more mild temperatures, not much wind to get in the way. But we are talking about some big changes as we head toward Wednesday, and we're looking at that cold front. That's going to drop our temperatures and bring more rain showers and much cooler temperatures as we head into the next couple of days, and you're going to definitely feel that. So enjoy the rest of the game. It's our town, our club.
Well, we have played games in days where it snowed. We played games where it was 95 degrees. It's just how epically long this USL regular season is. It was 8 months so far for Nashville SC. Chance to go to the playoffs of the win tonight. Still our halftime presented by Nissan. Halftime at First Tennessee Park. It's our halftime presented by Nissan. This is the second to last game played on this field in the USL regular season. Nashville will have another game on Saturday night, but still plenty to be played on this Tuesday night matchup. As we welcome you up to our broadcast position, I'm John Freeman, joined by former Vanderbilt women's soccer coach Ronnie Woodard. And well, there were plenty of chances in the first half for Nashville. Let's dive into our highlights. And well, we'll start with the highlights for the visitors from Canada. Couple decent looks for Toronto early.
I mean, this is just a beginning look. That's really the only thing that we saw from Endo the whole time. And then here's the penalty. Patterson Sewell with a big save against LaGrassa to keep it knotted at 0.
Toronto did have a real good chance there with Jordan Hamilton, a player with MLS experience, and that could have easily been 1-0. But after that, it was a whole lot of Nashville SC. A couple chances right at the doorstep that they couldn't turn in. Well, Tucker Hume was a frustrated striker.
He sure was, and you know, the balls are difficult coming to him, but it's really been the Allen Wynn Ropapa Mensa highlight show. They have faced up, they have gotten forward, they have produced good looks on frame, to put it simply, and there's been 0 production. We talked about it at the beginning of the half of the statistic. Hopefully Nashville went into the locker room and got themselves on the same page coming out for the attack into the second half, because too many of their attacks have gone unrewarded. And so I think that that's what we saw. We're going to continue to see Wynn and Ropapa running at people. I think Nashville's going to defend higher up the field and really press and try to get this early goal to start the tone for the second half.
Let's take a look at what is at stake here in the next 45 minutes. Right now, Nashville SC is above the playoff dividing line. They would even stretch farther with a tie. Well, actually, these are live tables. So right now, if this game were to end right now, Nashville SC would have 48 points. Looking at this table, you can do the math, and you can see Nashville SC, were they to win this game, would clearly clinch a spot in the playoffs. And also, do not rule out Nashville's opportunity to not only win this game and beat Cincinnati, get a favorable result when the Battery travel to Ottawa. I know it's a whole lot in there. There is still a chance that Nashville SC could finish as high as 4th by Saturday night and host a first-round game in the USL Eastern Conference playoffs. But right now, this is what the bracket would look like if the season ended at this moment. It would be the 5th time that Nashville SC would play Lou City in the inaugural season, the 4th in the USL, along with 1 in the US Open Cup.
Well,
hello, old friends.
Yes, and specifically at Lou City, which, you know, everyone talks about what a difficult field and environment that is to play in. To go and catch them on the first round of the playoffs is really nothing that Nashville would hope for. But I think at this point, that man right there on camera really just has one goal, and that is to get a win in the next 45 minutes of this match.
Teams back out. Toronto in the red, Nashville in the blues and the pink. Toronto FC simply just seeking its 5th win of the year. Nashville SC seeking to make the playoffs with a victory. Nashville, as we said, will be attacking towards their supporters section. The section that Gary Smith says lifts his team when they are tired late in games. But first, it's Toronto on the ball. Baquero, tantalizing service. Nashville's 11 from the first half unchanged to initiate the second. They do have some real interesting cogs on the bench. Former USL first team member Brandon Allen, player who scored a hat trick in the USL Cup final back in 2016 for New York Red Bulls too. I also have the speedy Ish Joe. There is Brandon Allen, and then next to him, Chris Tierpak. Kind of an enigma of a midfielder. We don't know too much about him. He was signed late in the season, has shown flashes of brilliance, but then picked up an injury in Charlotte. Could potentially be the joker in the deck of the cards for Nashville.
I think that young man right there has had quite the game so far. Telfer, he's had his work cut out for him, and he's done a really nice job of joining in the attack for Toronto, as well as getting back and keeping his defensive shape and dealing with a really dangerous Ropapa Mensah.
Toronto searching for an incision point. Kubel lashes the cross into the night. Mensah headed it back into a dangerous area. Telfer. Grassa came flying in. Keep up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7 by following at USL Soccer on all social media platforms. Mostly Toronto possession here to start the second half. Kubel down that right channel, got his defender on ice skates. Heavy touch from Endo. Reloaded for Kubel. Pondering his cross. It's low and driven. Had to be addressed by Doyle.
So far, the second half has started a little sloppy for both sides. Missed clearances, misplayed balls, passes that are errant.
Akinola. It's Akinola. Was bobbling. Never could get it to settle.
Well, that's something we haven't seen all game from him. He just really turned and ran at that defender in just a split second. I think he just showed us a glimpse of the explosiveness that Akinola has.
Just an 18-year-old from Brampton, Ontario. Made his USL debut as a 16-year-old back in 2016. Been a standout forward on the U.S. men's national U20 team.
Are you
Actually
sure?
played in the U20 World Cup.
Are you sure he's 18?
He is 18.
He did not look like an 18-year-old boy that I see in high school.
Toronto is full of young future stars. Speaking of young future stars, it's Ropapa-Mensah, the 21-year-old. He's had quite the renaissance as a right winger. LaGrassa trying to get his angles right. Be Nashville's first corner kick in front of their supporters. Had 7 first-half corner kicks. Right back to where they started.
We've seen some magical finishes off corner kicks on this goal.
Whipped in by Reed, headed down by Hume. Chance here! Nearly turned in by Ropapa-Mensah. Toronto FC 2 players were looking at the assistant referee, appealing that Mensah was offside. It's a moot point. Nashville inches away from the opener.
Tucker Hume got a touch on it. There's a good chance that Ropapa may have been a hair behind their last defender, but as you said, it is a moot point if the ball went wide.
Stats when you're ready.
Mensah now starting his 4th straight game. He was the super sub of super subs for the longest time. Gary Smith, with the injury to Lebo Maloto, had to tinker with his formations and his lineups. Threw in Ropapa-Mensah as a right wing for the first time this season, and he has flourished in that spot.
It fits to his skill set. He's got great pace, he's explosive, he's powerful. He can strike a ball off of the dribble very quickly. And so it was really a great move by Coach Smith to play to some of his assets.
It's a real sophisticated build-up here by the visitors. Akinola lofted back post. Hamilton is back to the target. Telfer. Supply denied by Kimura. And Hume in unfriendly territory. Recruits Alan Wynn forward. Pulls it backwards. Delivers to Mensah at the gates of the defense. Neatly done by LaGrassa. Veteran's touch.
Oh, cheeky little touch from
Reed
Michael
trying
Reed.
to get involved to the party.
Look
Well,
what I can do.
Nashville, you'll see GPS trackers on the players. It's the humps on their backs. Oh, here's a turnover. It's Tucker Hume for Michael Reed. Reed! Save made again by Patterson Sewell.
Good save by Patterson Sewell, but the ball was knocked right at his hands. You know, the rule of thumb is if you're going to strike a ball from distance or on frame, if you can get it low, the goalkeeper has to leave their feet in order to make a save, which means far more difficult. If you put it within the chest area, all they have to do is put their hands up. It's a lot easier save to make. And here it is. Takes a touch to his left foot, sets it up and strikes, and it's right about chest height. And so for Patterson-Sewell, it's a little bit easier of a save. If that ball had gone low, Patterson-Sewell would have to leave the ground, and at the very least could have left a half chance out there for Tucker Hume, who was framing the goal.
Well, as I was saying before the turnover, Nashville keeps very detailed statistics on their players' movements throughout the game. Arnada Taha has an update on the stats from the first half. Nada.
Coach Stacey Daniels, and you're going to love these stats. Of course, it's Alan Wynn with a lot of them. Fastest sprints, and his speed was 21.5 miles per hour. But the most exciting stat is that he ran 27 sprints in the first half, and that means that if he keeps this pace, he could have at least 60 by the end of this game. And Michael Reed edged out Matt LaGrassa just by a little bit to be the workhorse of this game. So they're working hard this game.
Certainly are. As is that man, Ropapa Mensah. Put the ball in a good spot, Ronnie.
Well, to add, well, let's take a look at this replay first. So look, again, Ropapa Mensah faces up, serves the ball into that back post, and Alan Wynn is just making a run into the top of the 6 as opposed to framing on that far post. So that's a couple of near misses from the combination of Ropapa and Wynn together that really could have been beneficial. If Wynn had kept a little bit of width and had made that run to the far post, that's an easy tap in for him.
Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportsamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50.
Well, another fact about Alan Wynn in the first half, he created 3 chances.
Akinola, Hamilton, chance here on the back post. Kubel! Sprayed just wide.
Nashville dodged a bullet right there, didn't they? That was dangerous.
Well, they didn't dodge the bullet, they deflected the bullet.
Fair enough.
As it is a corner kick for Toronto FC 2.
Wow, that was dangerous. Extremely dangerous. And a little bit slow-footed by Nashville defensively.
Coca-Cola corner kick for Toronto. Bargoed by LaGrassa. Telfer, Indo, returning to Telfer. Left-footed driven service towards the back post, and again, Kubel a problem. Almost got his forehead to it. Toronto looking like the brighter side in the last couple minutes. It's a wide open game, Ronnie.
It is. And to go back, so I didn't finish with that last comment about Wynn. So Alan Wynn had 3 chances in the first half alone that he created for himself. That equals the total number of chances that the entire Toronto team had in the first half. So as you can see, Toronto's come out, as you always put it, and shown their fangs a little bit more in this half. They've already created more opportunity, or as many opportunities as they did the whole first half.
They search high and low for another entry point. Again, just wide, it's Baquero. Well, the chances flying in a matter of seconds for Toronto. You can see it written on the face of Matt Pickens. Nashville now trying to solve this surging attack from Toronto.
Yeah, the rhythm's off a bit. You can kind of see it on the field. It's just not quite in tune. Since they've come out from the halftime, Toronto's been on the front foot a bit more than Nashville has.
Nashville SC's next home game will be Saturday, October 13th. That's this Saturday at First Tennessee Park. It's against FC Cincinnati. Single game tickets available online at NashvilleSC.com. FC Cincinnati will bring in a team that is tied for the longest unbeaten streak in USL history at 22 games.
And
they could either have that streak snapped, or they could gain sole possession of it with a win at First Tennessee Park against their rivals.
And they're a really fun team to watch. You know, their attack is just so dominating throughout the league, and they're just really entertaining, and they're filled with a lot of quality players. It's sure to be a great matchup on Saturday.
Baquero loading up. Couldn't fool Alan Wynn. Nashville is warming up its entire allotment of substitutes. Kimura, the ageless Japanese midfielder, carries Nashville into the attacking third. Reed. It's Michael Reed off the post. It rattled the foundations of the target. Shook the iron and nearly gave Nashville the lead.
I'm sure we'll see that clip one more time before the end of the game. What a strike from Michael Reed.
He's a player that's feeling it. He scored in the last 2 games after having not scored all season. Washington sidesteps the tackle from Kubel, keeps it in bounds. It's a flop service, hunted down by Reed. Win.
Good defending by Toronto so far.
Ropapa to the right. Ropapa Mensah battered away by Patterson Sewell. Nashville knocking on the door, trying to break it down. Matt LaGrassa on his right foot, parried away. Patterson Sewell in a different realm.
And there it was. The energy level rose, the intensity level rose. The Nashville Roadies have come to life behind the goal. The energy just changed from that entire attack. And it all started with Michael Reed putting that ball off the post.
They can feel it now. They want it now. Coca-Cola corner kick, number 9 of the night for Nashville. Washington. Last man back is Kimura. The needle trending towards NSC. Mensah dispossessed. Doyle.
Oh, I love that entry ball.
Win. Nearly able to 1-2 back to his former college roommate. And then Hugh puts a shoulder into an opponent.
Shoulder and an arm and a hand. I love, and I don't think we'll see the clip of it, but the first time entry ball from Liam Doyle into the foot of the, yep, here comes.
So it is a substitution presented by White Claw. The foul is the last contribution from Tucker Hume. And it is Brandon Allen who will come in. Allen, 37 USL goals in his career in just his 3rd season. He had 21 in his rookie campaign. He was the 2016 USL Rookie of the Year. He started out so well in Nashville. Goals in 3 of his first 4 games. But he has since trended away. Just 1 goal from the run of play in his last 18 appearances.
Yes. However, let's remember what Brandon Allen does well. He finishes in the box. He has very good timing on his runs. And with Wynn and Ropapa running the flank like they are, and the timing of Allen's runs, I think that he's a good decision from Coach Smith right now. I think he has the ability to change the box organization and get that ball.
Play on whistled. Allen. Brandon Allen squares it across. They've done it! Matt LaGrassa! Nashville with 1 foot in the playoffs. Brandon Allen leaps from the bench, puts it on a plate. Fire up the smoke at First Tennessee Park. The Dex Imaging goal.
Super sub, Brandon Allen, muscles his way into the end line, serves the ball back. Great box organization and timing on the run from LaGrassa. First time finish, but look at the quality of this ball. Takes that isolation touch, plays it back, right up high the 6. You have Ropapa framing the back post, and you had a perfectly played ball to LaGrassa with an amazing celebration with the fans after it. That's Nashville soccer right there.
He celebrated with a fan, Clay Tranium, who has put in thousands and thousands of miles to follow this team around the country. And here he is, the first supporter to celebrate potentially a goal that sends Nashville into the playoffs. They still have to hold on.
Superman LaGrassa to super fan. Awesomeness right there.
This match, which has suddenly changed drastically, is brought to you and presented by Pinnacle Financial. Play hard, bank easy. The third USL goal of the year for Matt LaGrassa. Don't know what's going on with Brandon Allen. But Toronto a chance here, it's Endo! Well, Nashville was playing with 10 men with Allen on the sideline. And Tsubasa Endo, the sharpest of Toronto's swords, nearly with a devastating equalizer.
Here we go. Gets in a tight little space. Endo gets his hips around the ball, strikes the ball in frame. It really not quite as dangerous as it may have looked right there. Again, if he keeps that ball low, better things will happen as a result.
We've gotten word Allen was having his arm taped. Maybe a little bit of blood there.
Yeah, there's no way he's coming out of this game. He's feeling it.
Nashville trying to salt the wound now. It's Taylor Washington. It's a bobbling ball. Flips it in anyway. Mensah. Oh, what a move that is by Ropapa. Reed slaloming through. Touch too far. Bring your group of 10 or more to a Nashville SC game. Groups receive special group pricing, catering options, and on-field experiences, including a group photo. To book your special group experience, call 615-457-8200. Better get on it quick. Last game is Saturday against FC Cincinnati.
And you'd much rather come watch this live.
Oh, a foul has been conceded in a precarious position here. All the players in the altercation were standing upright, and Kevin Broadley came swooping in, oxygen to whistle, to put Toronto FC in a position with a dangerous free kick.
It looks like
Wow.
he didn't like the reach from Doyle around Akinola. And so he felt like it was a bit too physical. He thought Akinola had established his space. And the delayed whistle is because he gave Akinola a few seconds to see if he would advance and if they could play, have a play on, and he could continue.
Nashville has built a colossal wall, 5 blue bricks wide. Most dangerous man near the set piece is Endo. It is Tsubasa Endo. Bullet dodge for Nashville. Great player, not having a great night.
Yeah, he's been a bit disappointing in his production tonight so far, but I still think a player of this, yeah, he just got under that ball and just popped it right over. You know, I think a player of his quality has the opportunity and the ability to change at any moment and, you know, play it to his advantage. So I wouldn't count him out anytime soon, but so far it's not been up to the Endo standard that we've seen consistently throughout his matches.
We saw Brandon Allen being tended to on the sidelines. Arnada Taha was close by. What's the story, Nada?
He basically got a field burn. He, I guess, slid after that assist and grazed both of his hands that were bleeding, so the ref made them wrap it up.
Simple enough. I think he'll take that for a potential assist of the season. He looks like a UFC fighter ready to go.
So
Can we get some team-colored tape?
Where's the pink tape? We need some pink tape.
It's got all types of colors going on now. Nashville has won a throw in deep in the attacking third.
He does match Casquet's headband.
Here's Camira. LaGrassa, the goal scorer. Washington puts his foot to the gas pedal. That was slightly deflected. Patterson Sewell caught it just before across the inline. That would have been a Nashville SC corner kick if he hadn't gotten there.
The veteran goalkeeper seems to be sharing a little bit of frustration. But he's had a magnificent game so far. He has kept Toronto within 1 goal in the match, and he's done a really valiant job.
Taylor Washington, Swiss Army knife utility player, has played in the midfield, now has solidified a left back position. Kubel draws the foul. Ronnie, we say it every time Nashville scores. This season they are unbeaten when scoring first, 19 times, no losses. Remember, they would have to win this game to clinch a playoff berth tonight. A second goal would surely help. It's Ropapa Mensah with numbers flooding forward. Expert defending in a tricky situation by Liam Frazier, 20-year-old. Frazier has MLS experience this season, 9 appearances, most recently in August for Toronto FC. Indo. Serbal. Read by Doyle. Allen, the substitute. Allen Wynn asking questions. It's a one-on-one for Wynn. Squares it back across. It's 2. Tennessee Park. They are storming the playoff gates, and they are nearly in.
Well, let's see if they get it all the way at the beginning. Well, no, they get it after. But the ball came in to Wynn from Allen. So it started in the midfield. Allen wins possession of the ball, knocks a long ball in to Wynn. Wynn has enough patience to stand up, the defender in the back, Boschkovitz, and then there is Allen Wynn to get on the back side of it. Fantastic timing. Again, we talked about it as soon as he came into the game. What does he do best? He frames the goal. He played a ball from midfield into Allen Wynn. Wynn played it back to him, and then Brandon Allen never stopped his run, straight onto the back post. Clinic finish on the back post by Brandon Allen.
Brandon Allen, the super sub. An unused sub in the last 3 games. It's his first goal from the run of play in the last 19 appearances. He has been the shot of carbonation that Nashville needed. It was the Dex imaging goal, the second of the night for Nashville. For Allen, his team-high 7th USL goal of the year. Also picked up his 2nd assist tonight. He has the class, he has the skill, he has the awareness. He was just lying dormant. Toronto not going away just yet. Grassa has to be careful there. Remember, well, here's a blasted shot, follow-up goal! It's the substitute, Jordan Peruzza, on his first touch. 75th minute, Toronto FC on the road says, hold on, do not count us out.
What a stunner. Two absolute super subs have come into the game between Brandon Allen and Peruzza. And look who it is. As we talked about, don't count him out. Endo strikes the ball from distance. Peruzza's framing the goal, as a good attacking player should do. And so, as we talked about just a few minutes ago, again, can't count out a player like Endo, who hasn't had a fantastic game, but he creates that opportunity for his team by striking a great ball on frame.
We barely have time to tell you that Peruzza had come into the game. The 17-year-old scores. It's his 2nd goal of the season. His last one came against Louisville in their previous match. He takes out Ayo Akinola. Was the substitution presented by White Claw. We barely had a chance to tell you his name. We know his name now. Right when Nashville was thinking about putting the champagne on ice, Toronto FC looking to spoil the party. It's time today to vote for the Budweiser Man-of-the-Match. Find the poll at the official Nashville SC Twitter account at Nashville SC. Your vote, partner.
Yeah, it's a difficult one because everybody loves the super sub, and the obvious option is Brandon Allen. He came in like a lightning bolt and created both opportunities with a goal and assist. So I'm going to go with Brandon Allen, although Alan Wynn has been exceptional today too. And so he's had a part in virtually every attack that's happened today. And so he's been incredibly dangerous at the same time.
Substitution presented by White Claw. John Baccaro's night will end. Spaniard heads to the sideline, and in his place, Luca Petrasso, 18-year-old from Toronto, came up via the TFC Academy. He's played in 7 games this season, though. This is his first action since June. No one home on the back post. Kubel first to it. Important header from Akinyoti. Starting the attack is Frazier. Endo. It's a hefty tackle from LaGrassa, who's got to be careful. Remember, if he gets a yellow card, he would be suspended for the match against FC Cincinnati. It is a simple foul in the eyes of Kevin Broadley. Quick reminder to fans at home, this match presented to you by Pinnacle Financial. Play hard, bank easy. We didn't expect Toronto FC 2 to roll over. This is a riveting response from the visitors, Ronnie.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I was looking at the replay there and trying to see, and I do think LaGrassa got a little bit of endo and did not allow him to have any forward motion or have the ability to play the ball anymore. I like the thought of the tackle. I like the thought of a play on there, but I can see it's been a tight game. Broadley has called it tight, and he's not going to let that one slip either. Some referees would, but not him.
Free kick comes in. This is batted around and dangerous. It's Doyle who cleared it away. The Toronto FC2 players looking at the official, Kevin Broadley. I think they thought there may have been a handball in there.
Now that was a great ball. I love that low-driven ball. Look at this. Right in there, a little bit of an in-swinger. Nashville stuck, having to do everything they can, and it's caused a little bit of a frenzy in there. But a great ball driven into that mixer right there. Very dangerous.
Mensah has won the ball back in the attacking third. Allen is onside. The cross is a good one. Taken away by Frazier. Arnauta Taha is down on the sideline. What do you have, Nana?
It looks like number 28, London Woodbury's coming into the game. He's getting ready right now on the sideline.
So Nashville most likely going to take out one of their sharpest swords and bring in some armor. As Woodbury a center back. We'll see whose number comes up. Number 3 is that of Ropapa Mensah. So a forward exits and a center back enters. Our substitution presented by White Claw. Nashville's new starting right wing, Ropapa Mensah. A workmanlike shift. Never had a final product, but certainly was a nuisance throughout. Tonight's Ashton real estate attendance, 7,531. Nashville, they pulled the drawbridge up, Ronnie.
Look at that shape. 5 backs, 4 midfielders, 1 attacking player. Coach Gary's trying to preserve the win. He's gone a little bit more defensive. He's got 5 across the back right now. Added Woodbury in as another central player to help out Doyle and Davis, keeping Kimura wide and Washington wide. And then he's going to let LaGrassa and Wynn and Akinyoti and Michael Reed run a lot in the midfield, and they're going to play off of the target. And the lone target right now is going to be Brandon Allen.
Foul call went against Toronto FC2.
Definite jersey tug right there.
Tense times at First Tennessee Park. Nashville SC, with the help of that man Brandon Allen, scores and assists on a goal. It was 2-0, but then a quick response from Toronto FC2. They've brought in some fresh legs and Noble Okello. Substitution presented by White Claw, the 18-year-old in. Okello replaced Kyle Bjornathan. Kello, 1 assist this season, does not have a goal. Akinyoti storming forward with the pass behind on rushing Allen.
The one thing Nashville can't do right now is give the ball away in possession. With one attacking player in Brandon Allen as their point, they're going to have to play directly into his feet so that he can hold the ball and allow the rest of the team to be able to catch up with him. So keeping possession and taking the time away right now is really vital for Nashville.
There you see it, Nashville. About 6 minutes plus stoppage time away from a playoff berth. They would secure one if they finished out this game with a win, and oh no! That is not in the script! Toronto has shocked First Tennessee Park with a defiant equalizer. It's Jordan Hamilton.
Again, it's the man we've talked about, Telfer on his left foot. What a great head ball by Hamilton. Just left alone, stepped in front of and in the gap in between Davis and Washington. Really good head ball by Hamilton. Even better service from Telfer. But we've mentioned Telfer's name a lot throughout the day. His ability to get forward and join into the attack and also still serve his defensive purpose has been remarkable today. And it is just that he found the opportunity to get an assist on one of the last plays. So now Nashville has a choice. John, they have to come out and go.
It's a goal that probably shook several screens in Ottawa and in New York Red Bull's 2 offices.
So that 5 is now adjusted again into a 4-3-3. Pressing players high for Nashville. All they did was move Washington up higher onto the flank.
Kamura trying to slip through, couldn't get past the speedy Ryan Telfer, the 19-year-old. Akinyoti at full effort, turning his Serble. Well, now Toronto is looking for the win. Flopped across the box and no one home. And now Nashville turns to its supporters to pull them back into playoff position. They had it in their grasps. A 2-0 lead in this second half. It has suddenly slipped away. Still time, though, for Nashville. Washington. Kamura. Towards the head of Allen. Leaping is Washington. Charging in Davis. Top of the box, chance! Patterson Sewell up to the task again.
And that,
spurning the header from Michael Reed.
That's just a quality save. Look at the type of service was bent in a way to an on-running Michael Reed, who gets a great piece of the ball, keeps it low. Patterson Sewell had to get down to his left really, really quickly, and he makes an enormous save yet again to keep Toronto at this point into the match.
Well, tonight's Budweiser Man-of-the-Match voted on by you. It is number 32, Brandon Allen.
He's got probably 5 minutes to finish a perfect half for him. He can find the back of the net one more time.
Nashville trying to find an avenue through. A wild second half. All 4 goals have been scored in it. Washington has gotten around his defender. It's Washington. Deflected by Patterson Sewell again. It was Allen Wynn. Kimura. Wynn asking for the service. LaGrassa having a go. Sprawling save from Patterson Sewell. Breathtaking action.
The amazing difference of Patterson Sewell today. He's making saves. Here it is. This is a great strike by LaGrassa. Again, close to Patterson Sewell, a little bit easier of a save, but again, an unopposed strike from LaGrassa that served. And Patterson Sewell, that man right there, came up huge one more time in this match. Solely responsible for keeping his team in this game.
And you wonder, he may not be done.
I suspect we'll have, with having 4 goals scored in this half, at least 4 minutes of additional time that will be added on. This game's not over, but the clock is not Nashville's friend at this point.
Nearly into stoppage time. 90th minute. Davis gets in the cross in. Flub touch right near the corner. Now Toronto FC 2, they're going to take their time, their sweet time. Every moment that the ball goes out of play. 5 minutes of stoppage time.
It's fair.
5 minutes for Nashville to find a winner and send this club to the playoffs.
Plenty of time. And that's a fair amount of time that's been added.
If Nashville scores and wins this game, they would make the postseason in their inaugural season. If they do not get a winner, they cannot clinch a playoff berth until the final game of the season against FC Cincinnati. They do not want to go to sleep tonight without their spot clinched. Relentlessly, they move forward. Akinyoti. Sent in by Davis. Back post, win! Patterson Sewell, the Tennessean, born in nearby Hendersonville. Without a doubt, if he is not in this game, Nashville is easily cruising in it.
The true man of the match, Patterson Sewell.
Ladies and gentlemen, a yellow card.
He's been relentless.
Toronto FC 2, number 28, Caleb Patterson Sewell, added time.
All of the chaos. It was Caleb Patterson Sewell who was given a yellow card for time wasting. Goalkeeper could care less. Nashville moving forward desperately. It's Wynn. Allen Wynn! Again, just wide. And Patterson Sewell is laboring. And the goalkeeper requesting medical assistance.
Coincidental cramp, I think, is what the fans are claiming.
Now, do not worry, Nashville fans. This time will be added on to the already 5 minutes of stoppage time.
Especially because Patterson Sewell has just been booked for time wasting. So there's no way that referee Broadley will allow this to not go unpunished. He will be tick-tocking on his watch, keeping up with the amount of time that's been used for the cramp.
The captain, Michael Reed, trying to will his team forward. It was a high boot from Justin Davis, who started this game at center back and now looks more like he's playing center forward. It's all hands on deck for Nashville. Running out of time here. There will be more than 5 minutes of added stoppage time. The foul called on Michael Reed of Nashville. With every whistle from Kevin Broadley, more time ticking off the clock. Extracted by Wynn. A lung-busting run from Allen Wynn. Charging forward, cuts onto his left. Trying to find a shooting angle. Sprayed wide for Washington. Washington's cross deflected. Davis couldn't arrive fast enough. And now Toronto trying to spring the counterattack with Indo. Indo goes down. And the yellow card out on Justin Davis.
Kudos to Justin Davis for the sprint that he made from inside of the 18 all the way to midfield to catch Endo. But fatigue really got to him, and a little bit of an unnecessary foul right in this area. Endo was now cutting back to maintain possession of the ball and not really in danger of going forward. And Davis just got caught within the momentum.
Justin Davis in added time.
So now the question is, how much stoppage time to the stoppage time will Nashville receive? Maybe their last chance to move forward here. Kosuke Kimura went down. A couple fans thought that may have been the final whistle.
Everyone's heart stopped for a moment.
Nashville flooding numbers forward. Gary Smith waving blue jerseys ahead. Desperation time. LaGrassa got his forehead to it, and it skipped out of bounds. And that may have been the last opportunity for Nashville SC. The only person in the building who knows how much time is left is the center official, Kevin Broadley. Typically, officials in the game in the matter of 1 minute increments. So maybe Nashville will get to 97 here. What a ball that is by Doyle. No backup arriving. Nashville wants to score. They got to get the ball back. It's LaGrassa who's bundled over in the midfield. And a foul call goes on LaGrassa. Toronto FC again taking their time, as is their right. Visitors now in the 98th minute. And that will do it. The playoffs were dancing on Nashville's fingertips. They slip away. A 2-goal lead vanishes in the night. Jordan Peruzza, a 17-year-old from Canada, pushes Nashville's playoff quest to Saturday evening when FC Cincinnati will come to town. An absolute shocking night at First Tennessee Park. Nashville was just minutes away from a playoff berth in its inaugural season, and Ronnie, the disappointment, you see it on the face of manager Gary Smith.
You could see it on my face up here for them. That's painful. You know, it's hard. Now they've put themselves into a situation where it's really them against the #1 team in the conference. you know, and it is going to be a battle. And now they have from Tuesday night to Friday night to recover, rejuvenate, regroup, and get re-prepared for an additional opponent.
Well, we have a whole lot to unpack. We have plenty of time to do it in our post-game show. That's when we'll talk to you next. 2-2 our final. We'll break down stats, the bracket, and everything you need to know about this game and more. We're going to need one more big game from those fans. Nashville is going to leave it to the final day. They draw Toronto FC 2 tonight, 2-2 in a thriller. All 4 goals came in the second half. As we welcome you into our post-game show, I'm John Freeman, joined by Ronnie Woodard. Nashville was up 2-0. Toronto FC 2 storms back. Nashville was in playoff position. Well, they still are now, but they were in the playoffs if they had just won this game. Instead, they will have to wait until the final day against FC Cincinnati. Let's take a look at how this one broke down. It was not for lack of trying for Nashville SC. Look at the amount of shots on goal. You do the math there, Ronnie. 12 on goal, 2 total goals. That is an astounding 10 saves from Caleb Patterson-Sewell for Toronto FC 2.
He was magnificent today. He was the differentiating factor for Toronto. And we talked about it in pregame. We pointed out that this was his home location, and that if he had an absolute screamer today, that he had the ability to dictate the decision of this match, and that he did.
Well, a man who wasn't very busy was Matt Pickens. This is our pinnacle save of the game. He did allow 2 goals, didn't have a lot of chance on them, but here was his save of the game, and this really speaks to just the limited amount of opportunities that Toronto FC 2 had. Yet their 2 goals, their 2 opportunities that they cashed in on, they're the ones that tied this game. It's going to be a real sleepless night for the Nashville SC supporters and the players. They will rev it up again as we face FC Cincinnati on Saturday night. Nashville SC would like to thank the corporate partners: Nissan, Vanderbilt Health, Dex Imaging, Budweiser, Puckett's, Kroger, Heineken, Coca-Cola, MyTV30, Fox 17, and Pinnacle Financial. Now, not all hope is lost. Nashville SC is still in the advantageous position to make the USL playoffs. Let's take a look at the standings in the USL Eastern Conference. Remember, the top 8 teams make the playoffs, and right now Nashville is above that line. Ottawa right now 3 points below. They play at 1 o'clock Central Time on Saturday against Charleston. If Ottawa were to draw that game or lose that game, Nashville SC would be in the playoffs before they even start their match at 7:30 Central Time against FC Cincinnati. Yes, Nashville didn't get the victory tonight. Yes, they could have clinched tonight if they had gotten that victory. However, you would much rather be right where Nashville is than right where Ottawa is, or even Bethlehem.
Yeah, and, you know, Nashville needed to take care of business tonight to give themselves a little bit of breathing room going into the Cincinnati game. Now they're at the mercy of Ottawa, you know, and Charleston. What they want is for Charleston to go ahead and win that game and claim that 4 seed and go ahead and keep Ottawa below them. That is, you know, pivotal to them on for Saturday.
Yeah, there was some talk that if Nashville won this game and then they beat Cincinnati and Charleston lost in Ottawa, that Nashville actually could be as high as 4th at the end of the night and host a home game. That is now gone. That is not possible. So Nashville, if they do make the playoffs, they would be traveling in the first round of the USL playoffs. In the USL playoffs, the top seed hosts each game, and this is how it would look if the playoffs started tonight with 1 game to go in the regular season. It would be the 5th matchup against Lou City for Nashville once in the U.S. Open Cup, and then it would be the 4th in USL action. That is if the playoffs started tonight. Of course, a whole lot more can happen, but you know, if you are looking at the bracket, it's not too bad to be on the side not with FC Cincinnati, the 1 seed on the longest unbeaten streak in USL history.
Well, sure, but there's also still that chance that they could finish 8 and play Cincinnati back-to-back, correct?
I believe so, yes.
I believe that could happen. So you could see Nashville, either way, Nashville's going to play an opponent that they will have seen for the 5th time this year, or potentially Cincinnati, who they'll see back-to-back weekends.
I will see you on Saturday, partner.
I'll be there.
Well, Nashville leaves it for the last day, a season that started in a downpour in early February. Over 200 days have gone by, and they are still searching for the playoffs, and they are still alive in the playoff hunt. It was a wild match tonight. Yes, it slipped through their fingertips, but Nashville still in playoff position with 1 game to go, and what a wild one it will be. Saturday night, 7:30 at First Tennessee Park against mighty FC Cincinnati. We will talk to you on the weekend. Good night, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.